round two against Mr. Eastern Thought with an unkeepable hand with one swamp. That sounds fine though. One thing I dislike about this deck is you have like 0 turn 2 plays. It really sucks, especially if you play against this deck, which is, as far as I can tell, an awful matchup. I never liked playing against it unless I had like a billion Freakus Cures on the board. And even then, sometimes you just die to turn 1 Hoplite, turn 2 Ordeal. Because there's not very much you can do against it. Like, there's no 2-mana removal spells in the format. Other than Baleful Eidolon, which wouldn't even be that good here. So what am I looking for? It's probably not going to be Temple of Silence. I need like a Hero's Downfall or something. Or a Night Howler. Even though Temple of Silence is a white source, and I'd like some of those at some point. In case I draw an Elspeth. Or God's Willing. 2 Read the Bones, not very good when you're sitting at a 13 life. Maybe he just has like Slam Nothing in his 6-card hand. Apparently he does Slam something in his 6-card hand. So I could downfall his guy, but that seems pretty bad because if he God's Willings it, it's like a 5-7 damage, and I have no answer to. So I'm just going to play my Agent and hope I draw a Night Howler, or a... that's pretty much it. Because I think if he plays Fabled Hero this turn, I know he has God's Willing, because the only reason he wouldn't play it is by leaving up a white mana for God's Willing. Because if he tapped out for God's Willing there, I would just downfall it. Or downfall something, which obviously he doesn't want. I'm just blocking here. I don't really think I can play around God's Willing. Which sucks. It's like one of the things I hate about this deck. Like if I just can't like take 4 here. So I take 6 here, I go to 5, and then I still have my Agent, but I don't have a way. If I had the Night Howler, I'd just take it, but I don't have the Night Howler, so I can't rely on drawing a Night Howler. Whereas now I can try to demise it because it's... Hopefully his God's Willings are down. And this reduces his clock pretty significantly. Don't even know what I'm looking to draw here. Ugh, that's kind of annoying if he has an enchantment. Uh-oh, uh-oh, oh. If I draw a land, I can get Grey Merchant going. If I don't draw a land, I don't even know what I'm doing. If I kill this, I take 5, maybe 6. And then next turn, draw a Swamp and play Grey Merchant, gain 2 life, block his Soldier, take 2, go to 1. Is that my best line? This relies on him drawing no creatures or spells. Whereas if I play Agent this turn, I block his guy, we trade. Nothing really changes. It's like the same line of play. So it's basically between Agent and Hero's Downfall, and I think Hero's Downfall will have more, less of a... I don't want him to draw God's Willing and then my Agent be unable to block, basically. Plus he'd get to get counters on his guys. So I need to draw an untapped land, and he needs to have nothing. If he has something, I can't win. So he played a card. Therefore, I'm going to Thoughtseize him just to see what he has. Oh, he doesn't have a hand because he played his island. Okay. And I didn't even draw the land for Grey Merchant. So let's try boarding differently. Let's try Farika's Cure, take out this Abhorrent Overlord. God's Willing might be fine if I can get Agent of Fates going, so maybe I misboarded last time. Not sold on Ray of Dissolution, but it gains life, so I definitely don't want these Ereboses. Erebos is pretty miserable. He'd be good if he didn't require Devotion to be a creature, because then he would always be there. But he does, so he's not particularly effective. I could board out... Do I want this other Ray? I'm not sure. Maybe board out an Elspeth for it? Elspeth's kind of seeming to be a liability in this matchup. Like, I kind of want one because it's very good against, like, if he has a board of multiple creatures. But having a lot doesn't seem to be working out for me. Yeah, let's try this. I would love to play first. Oh, this hand's fine, actually. Having a 2-drop and a Freakus Cure is both very good. Thoughtseize level 1. Level 1, turn 1. I'm actually just thinking about taking the Cavalry Pegasus. It's probably the best card in his hand. Or I could take the Battlewise Hoplet and kill his leader and Pegasus. Okay. So he's got an Ordeal, an Aqueous Form, a leader, and a Pegasus. And of course, an island, no planes. Yep, might as well play my Eidolon since I don't have a turn 3 play. Okay, he played the Pegasus. Not surprisingly. I think I can... I don't mind trading up Eidolon for Pegasus. I don't think he'll do it, but... let's go ahead and Thoughtseize him. So he drew 2 islands. That's pretty good. So what are his plays here? It's basically just Ordeal. I can cure him. Played an island. He's going to play his Ordeal. If he plays his Aqueous form, that'd be pretty sick, but I doubt it. And this is why I'm not boarding out Thoughtseize. I gotta take a lot of creatures from him, and now I get to play my whip and gain back my life. So his hand is Aqueous Form, Island, and a card I don't know about. Now his hand is Aqueous Form and 2 cards I don't know about. He doesn't have double white, so his leaders are dead draws. 3 of them in his deck, I assume. I think this is only double white card. I think my strategy will draw lands into UN. I'm gonna save this Thoughtseize until he draws, until he puts creatures on the board, and I can strip a God's Willing from his hand. He just said, I think my strategy will be to draw lands until you win. And I said that is also my strategy, for him to do that. And he yelled at me for being a copycat. Whoever gets to 10 lands wins first. I don't know about that one. So I'm just going to jam my Grey Merchant. He could have a Stymied Hopes, but I assume he boarded them out. For no real reason. I just don't think he would have one. Usually they only board in Stymied Hopes against the red-green deck. The black deck plays so many 3 to 4 drop threats that it's not as good against them because their whole deck is full of them. And you just play so many lands. And they're not tempo based like the red-green deck would be. So there's the Daxos Aqueous Form combo, which I get to actually just kill right here. I don't know his hand, so I'm gonna check if it's God's Willing, because I don't want him to God's Willing my downfall. Nope, it's an island. So it's a pretty harmless check. If it wasn't an island, I get it anyway with the Thoughtseize, so. Daxos lets him play cards off my deck, so I don't want him to draw something. I don't know what would bring him back in the game from my deck, but it's better if I just don't give him any opportunity. He played the plains and I know about the island. Well, I'll just play the Grey Merchant. I think that's 7 damage. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. 7? I don't know. I can't count. 2, 4, 6, 7. So that was a extremely good showing of Thoughtseize's power against aggro decks, specifically ones that like are all on enchantments. He has an island in his hand. He's just tapping all his mana. So that was a pretty boring game. Like I mean, which is good because like stripping his hand of threats is how I'm gonna be able to win. Which is why I boarded Disciple the first match or in round one. But I'm not boarding him now because I don't know what I'd cut. Like I think God's Willing is fine, especially if I can predict a Baleful Eidolon. So I'm trying without some Disciples. It's possible I can cut Elspeth, but Elspeth's one of the few cards that, like, if he's three creatures in play, it's one of the cards I can draw that stops me from just dying to that. So I always want to have it like one as an out. Ray of Dissolution's fine. I don't know. I like all these cards. I have a hard time sideboarding with new sideboards. Now he's on the play, so it's extremely bad for me. Have a Baleful Eidolon, 3 white sources, and 2 agents, as well as a Ray. And it's pretty slow, but I have to keep it, I think. And my opponent said yuck, but I'll keep it. I don't... Oh gosh. Please don't have it. Please don't have an ordeal. Bottoming this, because I want to draw like a murder or a land or something. Something more impactful than a 1-3. I already have 3 Agent of Fates in my hand. Okay, Aqueous Form is not nearly as bad as an ordeal. Lets him scry, but it doesn't kill me as fast. He put that card on top, which is bad news. There's the Elspeth. I didn't particularly want to draw. I have to play the tap land this turn because otherwise I don't have a guarantee to play my agent next turn. Keeping the swamp on top because I want the ability to play Elspeth sometime this game. So I assume this is the turn he slams down his Fabled Hero? Maybe. Fabled Hero is not as good when he doesn't have Aqueous Form on it. And he's still probably going to beat my face in this game, but he didn't play it, so... Honestly, I'll probably just block this this Battlewise Hoplite. I just use this as like a murder. Since I can't block the favorite Hoplite. And next turn I can't even enchant my agent with my Baleful Eidolon, because it costs 5 to bestow. Oh, he didn't have a God's Willing. Okay. I think he definitely would have God's Willing there if he had one, so... It's definitely something to note. He put the Scry card on the bottom. So he's not drawing anything, or he might not be drawing anything important next turn. Does he have removal? Mono black deck? Probably not. Yeah, he just jams Fabled Hero. Oh man, I drew the Hero's Downfall. I had to use the thing instead of playing the agent, because if I play an agent, he plays any enchantment on his Fabled Hero, or like just leaves it there. He attacks into it, and it just kills me very quickly. His favorite Hoplite's getting pretty annoying. Can't block it, so I either need to Ray of Dissolution it or agent it or something like that. You just gain 10 life, which isn't that big a deal, honestly. It's much worse than the other one. I've drawn all of my agents this game. I'd like to draw like a land. So next turn I pretty much have to Ray of Dissolution his Aqueous Form, which doesn't even work because Discovery Pegasus gives it flying. This game's going to be a little harder than I thought. I drew too many Agent of Fates, ironically. It's one of the better cards in my deck. I might have to Ray of Dissolution next turn anyway, depending on what he does here. Because I'm at 5, that's lethal. Played a creature. Pharika's Cure kills his Pegasus. Doesn't leave me with enough mana to Ray. Can block his favorite hoplite. We can play Freakish Cure and Baleful Eidolon. Not quite sure what Baleful Eidolon will do though. Kind of sits on the board. Well, it has to sit on the board. Let's see. So I have to Freakish Cure the Pegasus this turn for sure. So if I Freakish Cure the Pegasus, it dies. I can block his guy, but he probably won't attack with it. And he'll definitely attack with this. If he draws a spell, I'm dead to this card. I can't stop it. I have no way of stopping it. Like, because if I Ray this, that means I won't have mana to kill Cavalry Pegasus, in which case it'll fly over my creatures anyway. So I definitely have to kill the Pegasus. So let's go ahead and kill that. Now I could play the Eidolon, or I could not. If I play the Eidolon, the Freakish Cure also puts me at 7, which I forgot about. If I play the Eidolon, that means I have an extra creature. So if I block here and he uses a spell, my board just won't be empty. Yeah, I think that's probably for the best. Even though I think it'd be optimal to bestow this, I don't know if I would have time, because I need to Ray of Dissolution this Aqua's form next turn, for sure. 100%. So I can't block that. Put the card on the top, unfortunately. It's the same thing he did last turn. It's like he doesn't want me to win this game. So I'll just pass turn here. He might have a God's Willing in his hand. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Which is another good reason to play the... So I'll go ahead and let him scry. Let me put the card on top. So I can Ray of Dissolution this, gain 3 life. I believe God's Willing only targets creatures. Like 90% sure. Yeah, he hasn't played one this game, so... Does it not target creatures? Yeah, it is target creature. So he gives it pro black, but I gain 3 life, so it doesn't even matter. It puts me at 6. Then I block his other hoplite. Then next turn, hopefully draw land for Elspeth, so I have 2 different colored creatures. And then I'll go ahead and block his favorite hoplite with my Baleful Eidolon. Drawing a Grey Merchant would also be pretty good next turn. He's another God's Willing. Ugh, that sucks. Okay, well, I can't beat the double God's Willing, so I don't feel too bad. Drawing a land the first couple turns would have easily changed the pace of this game, but it didn't happen, so it's fine. I guess I just get crushed out of the daily by a bunch of by a bunch of weenie decks. So I didn't actually get the most popular in the deck in the format by far is the red-green deck, which I didn't get to play against. Like the matchup's probably 40-60, which is pretty good against the red-green deck. Maybe even like 45-55. I think I'll try and jump in a 2-man queue, play another game, so I don't just give y'all 2 games of me getting crushed. Because 9 times out of 10, whenever I play round 3 in a daily, I'm 0-2 and no one just shows up. Oops, let's close this queue and hop in a 2-man. Though actually, let me leave queue. I want to add up Baleful Eidolon to the board, because I think that's one of the better cards in my deck. For sure. I didn't use the Ashiok's. Let's take out a Read the Bones. Nah. Probably Freakish Cure. Actually, Freakish Cure is very good against that specific matchup, but I don't want to play any. You know what? I'll just keep it as is right now. Just join the 2-man anyway. And next video will be a 2-man encore presentation of this deck. Hopefully I'll be playing against Red Green. Hopefully I'm not playing against that stupid blue-white deck, which is actually very good against mono black. It's just too fast for you to deal with. The red white one's even worse if you can imagine that, because the blue white one has a like voyages and such like that, which are usually not that good against you. Like you can bounce Agent of Fates, and that's pretty much all it can bounce. But yeah, I'll see y'all in just a bit.